look at other people's information, and I basically just told him, try and find me. I want you to try and get into my stuff and see what's in there. And so he tried and tried and tried and was unsuccessful, thankfully. But it's also because I've done this for 20 something years. I've built
Yeah.
many systems that have way, way, way more people than FarmFlow, that had to keep people's information separated and what they were doing separated. So it wasn't anything new to me, but it was also something I kind of threw together pretty quickly. So I wanted to make sure it was 100%. And Mario was great in getting that up and running. So, I even offered, and he's a very humble guy. I was like, dude, I'll give you an account for life if you want. And he's like, nope, I want to pay because I appreciate what you're doing. So I got to give him a big shout out. He's a phenomenal guy. He needed help with something the other day, and I said, let's get on a call. I'm like, you're good for life as far as I'm concerned. So I helped walk him through some stuff he was dealing with, and he's a great dude, awesome
Yeah,
guy.
Mario's
So
a great guy. I got on a call
yeah,
with him myself, and yeah, it was a good conversation. And
yeah,
seeing,
phenomenal
seeing
guy, very very smart. So and he's very appreciative and very supportive. So I definitely appreciate him, and I will shout him out every week if I have to for what he did to help get FarmFlow to where it is. So yep, it was a huge help having a tester built in that's not the programmer, because that's
yeah,
usually I'm doing both sides.
yeah,
And it's like it's a whole lot easier when you can just focus on the programming side of it and know that you've got another programmer, actually out there trying to break it and trying to figure things out. And I mean, he sent me tons of information, different things I had to change and everything else. So yeah, it was critical to have
yeah.
him involved.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out FarmFlow, again, I always prerequisites. It does a lot. You don't have to use it all.
Yeah.
But for me, the biggest thing in the FarmFlow is the checklist and the to-do stuff. That's mainly what we kind of use it for. Love it for that, and keeping track of like SOPs for getting forget gap and all that stuff. And all that stuff is great for me. But it's if you're not there and you're not using that, you don't have to use that. You don't have to turn that on. You don't have to click that. You don't have to use it. If you need it just for planting, just use it for that. Whatever you need it for, it's there. It can grow with you as your business grows. So you can check that out at farmflow.com, right? Or where do they get that at? I don't know.
Yeah. It's if you go to freshsourcefarms.com/farmflow.
There we go.
I did buy a domain for it, but I haven't bothered setting it up yet.
Just search
At least I don't think
FarmFlow.
it
I'm
does.
sure you'll find it.
Yeah, if you search FarmFlow, you'll definitely find it. If you get into the Microgreens entrepreneur group, there's tons of stuff out there. But I did buy a domain. I can't remember. Yeah, okay. So you can go to gofarmflow.com.
Okay.
GoFarmFlow.com does forward you to freshsourcefarms.com/farmflow. Got tons of information on there. 30-day free trial, and we take no credit card up front. So basically, you try for 30 days risk-free. If you hate it, don't use it. If you love it, then sign up for a billing plan. You're good to go. Keeps things nice and simple. So I'm not going to pressure people into using something, because there's options out there, obviously. But if this is the one that you like, awesome. If you want to support me and what we do, like through the podcast and coaching and everything else, that's part of what this is all about. Just to kind of help us do things like this more often.
Yep, for sure. All right, let's talk about going beyond the farm, because being in the farm, doing everything else and doing that is great. But going beyond the farm and being in the community and being able to contribute to the local community and that local agriculture movement of indoor vertical farming, which I believe is the future of farming. What are you guys doing with that?
Yeah, so I've spoke at colleges, I've spoke at high schools, I've spoke at tech schools, I've spoke at libraries, at the farm museum that we have locally. Getting ready to do a taste testing event next month. I mean, it's really just we work with our local Department of Ag very, very well. They help get us hooked up in all kinds of different community things, and because they've helped us so much, I literally tell her, I'm like, her name's Maureen, phenomenal lady. She actually doesn't work there anymore, but she's still helping with us with stuff. I told her, whatever you need, done. I don't care how busy I am. I don't care what I'm in the middle of, because she's been monumental to helping us get to where we are. So she's always asking me, to speak at different places and things. And it's great because, you can educate a large amount of people all at once, and they're there because they want to learn. It's not like a room full of people that you're walking in and say, hey, surprise, I'm talking about microgreens today. They all know walking in that they're going to learn about microgreens. So
Nice.
number one, they're interested. Number two, you can usually bring samples. Number three, you've got a room full of potential subscribers, potential customers in some fashion.
Nice.
So it's a great way to get a lot of people educated really quickly on what you're doing. But it's also like what I love about talking to the schools is there's a lot of kids that want to get into ag that are first generation farmers, right? So their parents never had a farm. None of their family ever had a farm. So they have nothing to work with. They have no land. They have no equipment. And it's a great way to teach kids you don't have to have all of that stuff to be able to actually be a farmer. you can in 8 square feet make $350 to $550 a week,
Yeah.
in a closet, in an extra room, whatever, in your bedroom at your parents' house, so it's really a great way to make them think outside the box and think like, wow, I don't have to have all of this hugely expensive stuff, to be able to actually run a farm. So that's what I love about that aspect of us talking to the kids. I mean, they really get a lot out of it, which is cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, yeah, if you can explain to them about the future of farming without telling them
Yeah.
that's what it is, and just explain to them that they can actually make money farming from that and everything else. So I remember you always telling the story like, yeah, how many tractors you think I think I have,
Yeah.
and how many animals do you think I have? Zero,
Yep.
zero, and then
Yeah.
making them think. That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah. Especially with the little kids, because every single one of them want to answer every question no matter what. So,
Yeah.
how many tracks do you think I have? Oh, pick me. They
Yep.
go absolutely ape shit. So it's kind of funny.
It's a
But
good
it's
way to
always
get them
fun.
interaction. Now they're engaged though. That's way
Yeah.
get people engaged into whatever story you're telling is
Yeah.
key when you're telling a story. So whatever you
Yeah.
need to do that for sure.
And that's again, we're being open to that kind of thing, and being comfortable talking in front of people and everything else comes in really handy, because you can really just walk in and knowing it doesn't matter who's in front of you, you're gonna make it happen, regardless. So it's definitely nice. But
Nice.
yeah, it's fun. It's something I really enjoy, and I'll continue to do for as long as I can. And hopefully one of these days you and I will be putting together like a United States, microgreens convention or something
Yes.
that
Trust me,
everybody
that's
can attend.
that's crossed my mind because there's some indoor farming conventions, but they're like 3 grand to go to, and it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
ridiculous why they're charging that much just to even go to them. So
Yep.
I would like to make it very affordable for people to go to something and learn.
Yeah, yeah. I think it'd be cool to do at some point. I've had people approach me about it too. And they're like, "Man, you should really do a convention." I'm like,
It's a lot of work, a lot
in
of
all
work.
my free
I
time."
was gonna say, yeah, in your copious amounts of free time.
We would have to
Yeah,
have somebody else running our farms for us, like
yeah, yeah.
all of it,
A-
100%.
And that's at
Not
least the nice part of where we are at this point. And I would say, as far as like, where the future aspirations, if you will, we were just bringing up, having employees and having a team is what allows me to do so much more in those kinds of things, because I don't have to worry about, hey, this talk is on a Wednesday morning when we're in the middle of our crazy harvest day, because I know my team's going to get it taken care of, so I can step away for an hour and a half or 2 hours or whatever and go do that talk and then come back and not have to worry about it. And that's kind of the freedom that you have, that's desirable. You get yourself to that point, and it's not easy. It's not the wisest way to do it, because it's going to be more expensive, because obviously you're paying employees to do all that work. But when you get past that point, and you can recover from the costs that are going out the door and get yourself to where you're actually starting to get paid, it's ideal, because then I can spend all my time doing sales. I can spend all my time doing coaching. I can spend all my time upgrading farm flow features. I can spend all my time speaking. It's a nice place to be, where we have these additional options that we can get out there and do, and it's tough to get to that point. And I haven't harvested in probably a month and a half, and it's mainly because of the new space. Every day I would go in and harvest on Wednesdays and help the team all day long, but now I have the freedom to be able to actually go do work in the new place, painting, whatever I'm doing, doesn't matter, but it's getting to that point was hard, not cheap, obviously. But it's nice to be there.
when did you feel comfortable about not being there anymore and knew they would be able to take care of it? How long did it take you for that?
um, I hired people a month before we opened the market. And the idea was to get them fully trained before we open the door. So our daughter Maddie, who's been fantastic, she manages our farm at this point. She was brought in immediately. I sat her down one day and I said, "Look," I showed her numbers. I said, "This is what can happen with this business." And I said, "If you want to get in on this, I would love for this to be your legacy, to where we build it up, we get it flying, we get it running, and then I hand this whole thing over to you at some point in the future, 10, 20, 30 years from now, whatever that happens to be." And she was all in, and she loves growing plants. I mean, she's got a bazillion, what are they called?
Succulents.
Yeah, succulents at her house. And, so when we get into growing the flowers, she's going to be
Yeah.
all over that,
Oh yeah, one
because
hundred percent.
I mean, she just loves growing plants as much as we do. So it was an easy transition. And then, so we brought her on first, got her really well trained up. But I would say it was probably maybe a good 6 to 8 months, because, and ironically, harvesting isn't hard to learn as long as you understand how to use a knife. and you understand that your knife isn't supposed to go like this through your finger,
Yeah.
then you're in pretty good shape. It's really ironically watering, I think, is
Yes.
the hardest thing to teach, especially
100.
when you're growing 25 varieties. You've got amaranth, you've got beets, you've got cilantro, you've got all these very finicky watering plants. And the cool thing is now, my two full timers who have been with me for over 2 years now, they are so good at it that they make adjustments on the fly to things. So like we got a block of seed from for Rambo radish that the germination wasn't as good as what we were used to, but they would still grow. It would just take an extra day or two. So they, on their own accord, thought, let's just put it in blackout. We hadn't blacked out radish in years, but they decided, let's proactively put it in blackout, gets that extra growth. And they made that decision on their own. I didn't even have to be involved in it because they understand the whole process
Process,
so
yeah.
well now, to where they go, okay, this is coming up short each week. We need to give it an extra little boost of growth. Let's put it in blackout, and that's the nice thing. Like literally they are managing everything. All I have
Nice.
to do is make sales, get people in the system, put them into farm flow, and everything gets taken care of from there. And they're proactive about texting me about different things and saying, hey, we got an extra 8 ounces of this week. Do you want to send some to these chefs? No problem. They'll pack it right up, put it in the bags. It goes out the next day. All I have to do is text the chefs. I don't even have to be there. So it's a beautiful thing to get fully trained employees. It's hard with part-time people to
Yeah.
get them that good, because if they're only coming in 1 or 2 days a week, it's like you go that entire week without any touches, if you will, touching
Yep.
the plants, seeing things, doing whatever. So it's way harder. It could take years. I mean, I had one employee that was here for about 1.5 years and he was part-time. And I still never got to the point where I felt comfortable even doing some basic things, just because he had such little limited experience. So that's what makes things tough with part-timers, is really getting them 100% up to speed. Where full-time or even, 25, 30 hours a week is easy, to
Yeah.
get them up to speed, because then they're literally doing everything every single week. So, yeah, I'd say it was probably about 6 to 8 months before we really felt good about it at that point.
Yeah, I agree. I think you need to have people that are near full time or close to full time.
Yeah.
Like, like you said, 25, 30 hours. I'm looking at like 30 hours before we would hire somebody that they'd be able to be in here and actually touch and do everything, a whole aspect of
Yeah.
the business before you be there. That's the only way you're going to train somebody doing this business. This isn't like a
Yeah.
restaurant where they can come in and do dishes one day a week and they're done, or they can throw something in an oven that's all the same every time. Well, plants are not the same every day. Some
Yeah.
days are going to want less water. Some days are going to want more water. Things happen. So I do
Well,
agree
and,
with that you need to be full-time people.
and it's, I mean, and people think training is going to be easy. Training is weeks and weeks and weeks of intensive
Yes.
touches, like you're literally over top of that person watching them do everything. And you could be spending your time doing something else, but you have no choice but to stand right there and watch them do it, to make sure they're doing it right, correct any little tiny thing, get it taken care of right away. Because we had a couple different people that harvested weird ways initially, and it was very inefficient. So we had to, correct that immediately, because we don't want them just wasting their time there harvesting. But the other benefit of having, even if you just have a person you bring on as a dishwasher, let's say that's all they do. If you can give that one person an extra day a week, just have them come in and learn how to plant, learn how to do just easy stuff, nothing crazy, not watering, not harvesting necessarily. You could, but like things like planting, it's a whole lot easier than harvesting. Everything is easier than watering, mainly when it boils down to it, just because of the detail at the watering level that you have to watch for. So, but yeah, definitely. I mean, give everybody, even your part-timers, opportunity to try other things.
Yep.
You may find that they're phenomenal at it. I mean, I had one girl that I hired as a dishwasher. Brought her in one day to plant. She was fantastic. I mean, just amazing. So then from that point forward, she worked 2 days a week, and one of her 2 days was planting, so, but then had another girl that I hired as another dishwasher, absolutely terrible at planting, absolutely terrible at
No,
leveling soil and
never,
everything. It
ever,
was
ever.
awful. So I'm like, nope, dishwasher. So learned really quick that, trying to get her up to speed was going to be a giant amount of time, and it wasn't worth it, especially when I have a bunch of other people that I can throw at that job that are already trained. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
It's good. Having employees is fun.
Yeah, it's definitely going to help you advance your company faster for sure and be where you're at. So
Yep.
definitely. All right. Before we get into talking about advice for aspiring farmers in this business, I want to talk to you about our school group. So we have a community school group that is at school.com/microgreens. And in this, right now we're doing, normally it's $97 a month and you get no access to our marketing course. But right now we're doing it $79 a month. You get everything. You get the marketing course as long as you're a member. You're going to get all that. You're going to get the community. You're going to get the classrooms of everything on how to grow microgreens, how to do it in the business of the microgreen business, weekly Q&As with me and Jess. We're both there doing weekly Q&As. Right now we're doing a marketing course every week. We're building it with you. You can come and ask questions about marketing. You can show what you're doing, your websites, all that kind of stuff, because you can learn how to grow this stuff. You need to learn how to sell it. So that's, and market your business to be able to get it sold. So that's what we're doing in that course, and we're building it with you so we can help you out. And it's at $79. I have room for 4 more people at that price for the marketing course included. 4 more people, and then I'm shutting it off. You can still join at the $79, but you will not get the marketing course. So get in now. Hope to see you over there. Just go to skoo.com/microgreens, and we'll get you right in there. And back to talking to Andy and Teresa. So what advice do you two have for aspiring microgreen farmers, or farmers in general?
Yeah, I mean, I would say just a lot of people are overthinking things. That's probably the thing I see the most, especially with brand new people. We did it too. I mean, the fact that we were tracking, individually on what rack and what shelf everything was on. I mean, it's not really something that you need to spend a lot of time worrying about the minor details. So, it's one of those things. You're either going to make it or you're not. And you also really need to think about where you want to take this. Is it something you just want as a part-time thing where you're just, making a couple hundred extra dollars a week or whatever, or even a month? Or do you really want to try and make this full time? Because if your plan is to make it full time, then number one, you need to get a mentor of some kind, whether that's Mike, whether that's me, whether that's somebody else. Get into Mike's school group, whatever you have to do, because there's a lot of people that are out there doing it well, and if you don't work with those people or talk to those people, it's going to be an uphill battle. And I can say that from experience because we spent the first probably year-ish doing it on our own. We'd obviously done some research, but until I had my first consultation, that was what really projected us in the right direction. Like, I learned so much from the first 1 hour call that I had, and it was like leaps and bounds. I mean, it's literally what allowed us to get to where we are. Other than FarmFlow having the software be able to manage everything for us. I would say that was definitely a big piece. So if you're planning to get big, find a mentor, whether that's me, Mike, whoever. It's up to you. We're not going to try and force you to go on our road, but obviously we know what we're doing. We've been doing this a long time. But that's a big thing, but just don't overthink it, and go for it. I mean, that's really all I can say. The only way you're going to potentially fail is if you actually start. If you don't start, they're never going to start. You're just going to be looking for an excuse not to, so you're either going to fly or you're not, but at least you'll know at that point, this is for me or it's not for me, and that's the best way to try and find out. I mean, with risk comes reward. And if you're not willing to be risky, then if you just love your little comfort zone, you want to stay in there. Right. She has a big comfort zone. I always tease her about it, but I have 0 comfort zone, as you can tell. But be willing to take that risk. Be willing to try something new, and try something hard and see if it works. The only way to find out is to try. Because if you don't try, then you might as well not even bother. You're just going to be sitting back thinking, "I can't do this. I can't do this." And if that's your thought process, then you're right. I hate to tell you, if you think you can't do it, then you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's all in the
Gotta get your
mentality.
mind right. Yep. Teresa,
That's
what do
it.
you have advice for anybody? Or maybe somebody as a partner or somebody doing this?
Well, I mean, just make sure that you don't start too big.
Yeah.
Make sure that don't go out and buy like 20 racks. Start with one and then work your way up. Because you really need to figure out if you really want to do it, if you really want to stick with it. And if it's not something you enjoy, then you don't want to force yourself down that road. And as a partner, I'm kind of not really in the business as much anymore, just because Maddie, our daughter, is helping Andy run the business now. I help on occasion, but you have to be understanding, because it is a job that takes a lot of time, and you have to be supportive and be understanding that this business takes a lot of time, and it takes a partnership, and you have to be willing to you know spare that time sometimes. If Andy has been working a lot on the new shop, and he sometimes he feels bad about it, and I'm like, no, 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 don't feel bad. It's fine. I completely understand. um you just need to have a very solid relationship to be able to survive a business together. And we just put a lot of faith in our God, and just we know that he has our back, and we just go from there.
Yep. Yeah, I
There's
mean, from the
definitely been a lot of
beginning.
praying when you go
Yeah,
through
oh,
business.
yeah.
A lot.
Well, and for us, I mean, that prayer had been, bless us so we can bless others. That's how
Exactly.
we've
Yep.
been asking. I
Yep.
mean, like, we have had conversations, like, if we get really, really big and we're making stupid money, how would we put it back into the community? We've already got plans on how that would happen, if
Yep.
we can get to that point. So it's something that's really important to us. We're not greedy people, never will
No.
be.
And I
Yep.
could never see us, like, wanting this huge like a huge house or anything
Yeah.
like that. you know we just want to be able to retire someday, but anything above and beyond that, we want to give back to the community
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
Awesome. I want a small shack on a lake with a lot of land.
Yes. Yes.
That's all
Yes,
I
that's what
100%.
you want. Something like that would be perfect.
Yeah.
100%. Yes.
Awesome.
But
I
yeah, I
think
mean, it's
we're definitely aligned in a lot of thinking and stuff with me and my wife and you guys too. Only difference is we've done this full time, and Teresa still has a job supporting
yeah.
Andy, the method he's going and the way he's building it and everything else and getting it to the level where it's at. So different ways of doing it, but both still
Yeah.
supportive and working together on it. So
Yeah. But and I would tell you, just to kind of go off of what Teresa said a few minutes ago, starting out small is really important. And I can't stress that enough. I can
100%.
tell you without a doubt, and Mike has just now recently experienced this, really quick, rapid growth is stressful. Because I mean, we added 12 racks to our system at one point in 2023, and Mike just now is adding in a whole bunch of new stuff. Had to buy a whole pallet of trays, and it's a lot to think about all of a sudden.
yes. And you forget the
I
bricks.
mean, yeah, exactly. That was the one thing that Mike forgot, and it's something that you could never even think of. Oh man, I don't have enough bricks to put on my plantings.
Yeah.
So it's like something as small as that can throw a giant monkey wrench into your whole plan. You think, okay, I got the racks, I got the trays, I can't possibly be forgetting anything else. Next thing you know, you run out of dirt. Next thing you know, you run out of packaging. Because you didn't think to order that stuff. So it's a big, big, big thing
Mhm.
to take on a big chunk like that right off the bat. So I mean, don't get off starting with distributors. Don't get off starting
Mhm.
with large restaurant chains. Start small, get your customer base, figure out what you want to do, and just work your way up, because, there's two ways of doing it. There's the way that Mike and Jess did it, where they built it and it paid for itself and they kept building it from there. And then there's the way that we did it, where it was an investment out of pocket to get ahead of the game, to be able to build the foundation that we just now have, that we can now build on top of this cornerstone, whatever we want, because we have trained employees, we have quality people that work for us. And now I can literally spend all my time making sales and nothing else. I don't have to do any farm work. I can just sell, 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 which is what I love to do. So we can grow significantly, once we get into the new space and I have the time to be able to do that kind of thing. But don't get me wrong, I'm selling all the time. I mean, that stack of business cards I showed you guys last week, all these guys have been reached out to. So now we're planning meetings. And even though I'm in the craziness of getting this new space up and running, I can't just wait,
Yeah.
for that to finally be done to get those sales moving. So, it's
Yeah.
definitely something you always want to be conscious of, but grow at your own pace. I can only do this and reach out to all these people and potentially take on a large amount all at once is because of my team and because of the systems we have in place. And, farm flow to a certain extent allows us to do that quickly and easily. So, yeah,
Awesome.
very good point. Just start small and work your way up.
Yep. And we definitely did that. And yeah, take whatever pace you can do and whatever pace you can afford that where you can still eat. You want to make sure you
Yeah.
can still eat.
Exactly.
And you can feed your family and whatever else. But again, we want to thank you guys all for being here. We want to thank Teresa for joining us and joining in this conversation, because she's a big part of Andy's business and their life. So getting her on here was a big thrill for us to finally get to meet her in person and have an actual conversation for more than a few seconds. So really, really enjoyed it. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for being here. We want to thank all of our members for being here. We gave away some memberships today as well for the channel. So hopefully you guys enjoy the new memberships and everything that comes with that. And these are the ones that have been Harvest members and the longer they've been there. So we want to thank you guys very much for that. And we will be getting into the live Q&A if you're here live. And we'll be doing the giveaway after that. So make sure you put in hashtag Thumbcast. And we will see you guys in the next one. All right. After the Q&A, the bell's rung. So after the Q&A is done, guys, we will do the giveaway, but make sure you put in hashtag Thumbcast and you're still here. You have to be here now to win, okay? It's been too much complicated to deal with it afterwards, so be here to win. All right. So I know we got a lot of good questions that were coming in through it all. I've seen Jess interacting with people and everything through that, so...
Yes, we had some really, really great questions today. So I'm super excited about these.
Things are started, so
yeah,
keep them coming, guys.
Keep them coming. Very funny, Joe.
What'd Joe say?
When do we get Oz in front of the camera?
On planting days.
On planting days. You guys see a lot of me during live sessions and I'm a mess and I'm like soaking wet. You guys get all of the bad too.
You get the real life. Just
real.
The real life.
The real.
Yeah, and Joe, you don't understand how much effort it took me to get her to come on.
Dinner.
Yeah, I'm taking her out to dinner as a result.
I thought it was dinner all week.
Date nights, right?
Dinner all week.
What?
It was dinner all week, right?
Dinner all week. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Yeah, we get Taco Bell.
I'm down with that.
Nice.
Very nice. All right. So let's start from the beginning.
And since Joe's on here, just give him a quick shout out. I do appreciate him jumping on with Andy last week and helping them out doing the podcast by themselves. So thank you, Joe.
Yeah, I appreciate that too, Joe. You know that.
See, Mario heard the same thing.
Come on, Mario. No more free coaching for you.
Love it.
No, I mean, poor Mario. It's like 5 hours in the future over there. So it's like
he's in the next day, I think. Now.
Yeah.
He's in the future.
Yeah. He needs to give us the lottery tickets.
Yes. All right. Farmer Cheryl brought the questions today. So
all right.
Do Teresa and Andy feel they have impacted the nutritional health of their community from meat and potatoes, or do they feel they still have a ways to go?
I mean, honestly, I think that we have had an impact because there's a lot of people that are buying microgreens from us that, may have had some health issues. We've had a lot of people that have lost a lot of weight, not just because of eating microgreens, but also like incorporating them into their diet, bringing something new to them. Maybe they're not a huge vegetable eater, but you can eat a little bit of microgreens and get all of the same nutrition that you do in, the huge amounts of full size vegetables. So I think we have made an impact, but there's always work to be done in that field. Always work to be done.
Yeah, we have 4 people that have lost over 100 pounds, and one lady has lost over 250 pounds.
No.
But I mean, a great example is like our second time we set up out front. One of my longtime friends, I've known her forever. She eats like garbage, like all the time. Was definitely overweight, and she showed up. And she said, I need to force this stuff into my life. And so I said, okay. So she tried everything. She hates every vegetable. So she settled on speckled peas initially. So she got speckled peas, I think 10 ounces every 2 weeks or something to start. And she came back one day. She's like, I can't do this anymore. I hate these peas. I said, okay, well, are you looking for something healthier? Because we've got broccoli, which is leaps and bounds the best one we sell. Yeah. That was 4 years ago. She's still a subscriber, still gets her 10 ounces of broccoli every 2 weeks. And she has lost well over 150 pounds, looks incredible, has tons of energy. I mean, like that one impact. When she showed up and got out of her car, I was like, what in the world is she doing here? She's not going to buy any of this stuff. And here we are, almost 4 years later. And she's one of our longest customers we've ever had. And she loves it. I mean, she got her, I don't know if they're married or not. I don't think they are, but she got her boyfriend, fiance, whatever, into eating them as well. So, I mean, it's awesome, like to see that impact. But to know, like, we've got stage 4 cancer patients, that are using wheatgrass every week and using broccoli every week, and they're terminal. There's nothing they can do at this point, but it's their numbers are maintaining really well or improving, because like their quality of life has been greatly improved as a result
Nice.
of working our stuff in. So it's kind of neat to know that that's the case, and that's really kind of what you have to focus on, beyond just making money, is you're really helping the community eat healthier.
For
Nice,
sure.
nice.
That's awesome.
That's good stories, man. Love that. Love
Yeah.
hearing them.
And I think we answered this one. Teresa does work full time in a high stress and pressure job.
Yes, I do. I work in compliance and medical device.
yeah.
So I work all the time with the FDA, and it is very stressful. But I think that it helped us when we were getting ready for any kind of regulatory, things that we have to get in order for regulatory audits. So,
Yep.
You
Luckily,
said-
she has an awesome husband.
I heard
So.
yeah, I do.
Teresa, you said compliance, and my head started hurting.
Oh yeah. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she does it.
Every day for the last almost 20 years.
Yep.
Fun
Wow.
times.
Yeah.
Farmer Cheryl asks, is Wegmans and Trader Joe's good buyers to supply microgreens?
You're going to have to be a huge operation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're also probably going to have to be at minimum HGAP plus
Plus,
certified to even be able to begin talking to them.
And I know
Yeah.
Trader Joe's is organic. You have to be organic certified as well.
Yes.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure about Wegmans, but
Yeah, Wegmans, I don't think so, but they definitely, I mean, when we met Wegmans at a show one time, they were like, "Are you sending your soil out for testing? Are you doing this? Are you doing that?" I'm like, "No, I'm not."
Yeah.
and they're like, goodbye.
They're like, "Oh, so you're just out here risking the world?" I'm like, "Hardly."
No.
So yeah, I mean, they're going to be so stringent, and they're probably going to sell your microgreens for like $2.99 for 2 ounces. So you're barely going to make any money after all the nightmarish stuff you have to go through to even get to that point. So like Mike's, I mean, you're talking, you've got to be hundreds of thousands of square feet worth of farm to even make it worth talking to them at that point. Yeah, I would avoid them. Focus on the mom and pop grocery stores, your local food co-ops, places like that. That's where you're really, or smaller chains, 3 to 5 grocery stores in your area, those kinds of things. You can have a lot better success. And I know you guys obviously work with tons of grocery stores. So
Even
you
the
can probably
grocery
speak better
stores
to
that are the grocery stores that are under like 500 units total, because them ones are easy to deal with as well. You can get in
Yeah.
them. I know somebody that's out in another part. I don't want to give it away, but they have a local distributing of they have like 500 stores nationwide, but regionally nationwide, and they have like 20 stores in one area that's in a big city area, and they have a local distributing area where they distribute everything out from that to them 20 stores. Well, she's going to deliver to that one location and get it out to 20 stores. So there's opportunities out there for them regional change as well. Mom and pops, I would 100%, like Andy said, work with first. Mom and pop single ones, and then go to 3 to 5, and then work into the regional ones, because that's going to just get you going baby steps.
Yep.
You'll learn some things.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why it's important to grow at the pace that you can handle.
Yes.
You're going to be learning a lot when you get into grocery stores and get into restaurants. So it's a whole different world, a whole different lingo, so you got to pick up on that kind of stuff to be prepared to go to the next one, but the nice thing is once you get in a small one, you can tell the next bigger one, say, well, I'm already selling this place and we're selling 50 packs a week. And they'll be like, oh, okay, cool. That's just an easier way to kind of proactively get into future grocery stores and just keep getting a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger as you go along.
Or if you want to know about grocery stores, get a mentor that is in the grocery stores, and a lot of them.
Yeah.
And we can help you out.
All right. Farmer Cheryl says, how many employees do Teresa and Andy employ? And are the employees part-time or full-time?
So we have 2 full-timers that work about 32 hours a week, roughly. Then we have 3 part-timers. One of them works 3 days a week. She's also my delivery driver. So she delivers like all day on Thursday, half the day on Saturday. And she helps on Wednesday with all the harvesting. And then I have 2 dishwashers. One of them is actually going to be leaving on Sunday. Tomorrow actually is her last day. Because she's a senior in high school. She's focusing on getting into college and finishing out sports and all that kind of stuff, which I'm totally fine with. She's been fantastic, been with me for a little over 2 years. Awesome kid. So, but I'll be hiring another dishwasher once we get into the new space. I already have somebody. They live closer to there than they do to where we are now. So it's just more conducive to bring them in then. But yeah, I mean, the nice thing is like, if I lose a dishwasher, it's not the end of the world, because literally everybody that works for me can wash dishes. I just try not to make my full timers do the work that I wouldn't want to do. I want them to stay there. So I don't want them to have to wash dishes and mop the floor and do all that stuff. I'd rather my dishwasher do that.
Although our daughter did start off with
Oh yeah,
washing
yeah,
trays.
yeah,
100% she started off with washing trays while we were still at the house.
yeah, which was a nightmare.
Because I was washing the trays. And I'm like, well, Maddie needs a job. Let's bring her in and let her wash the trays
Yep.
because I don't want to do it anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
My
Technically, she's
dishwasher,
worked for us.
my
Yeah,
dishwasher
she's worked
just
for us
did
for
the
a
math
long
how many
time
trays you're
prior.
gonna have to wash.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I try and keep my good people away from having to wash dishes when it boils down to it.
All right. Mentally Dope asks, how did you price your greens when you did your pop-ups in the driveway?
So we did all live harvesting. At the time, it seemed like nationally, for the most part, everybody was around $5 for a 2-ounce pack. We started out with that, and we did, I think, $10 for a 4-ounce pack and like 16 maybe for 8-ounce. But we found that some people weren't willing to pay $5 to try something they'd never heard of before. So we actually started offering a 1-ounce pack for $3 and a 1.5-ounce pack for $4. So at least we were able to make a sale, get them in their mouths. And then over time, I think about a year and a half in or so, we realized, okay, 1 ounce is kind of a waste. So we ended up eliminating the 1 ounce, pushed everybody to 1.5 ounce if they were on a subscription. And then in 2023, like maybe early 2023, we actually dropped the 1.5 ounce option because now we've established ourselves well enough to where nobody blinks an eye at spending. Now we pay $6 basically for a 2-ounce pack. So they don't really blink their eye at buying them because now everybody knows what we are, what we're doing, what they are, for the most part in the area. If they're interested, they're not going to hesitate to spend that kind of money. But initially we did offer cheaper price points just to be able to get people started, get them in the door essentially. So yep, that's kind of where we were when we started out.
Awesome. You lease your retail space, correct?
Yeah, we do. Yep. If we fill out the 4,000 square foot space, we will be buying our next space.
Yes.
Because we'll have more money than we know what to do with at that point.
For sure.
Agreed.
Yeah,
and they ask which is better too.
Oh yeah, which is better?
Yeah, if you can buy, that's always going to be better.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's going to be way more expensive. The downside is you have to basically take care of everything. So you're a facility manager. It's essentially at that point too. So any minor problem that a landlord would potentially fix for free, you have to take care of on your own.
Mhm.
Leasing, I did a big thing with Nate Dotson. We just launched a course a couple weeks ago that went over all the aspects of doing commercial space. It goes into heavy detail. But ultimately, we don't really talk about purchasing a space, but it goes through all the ups and downs of leasing a space. And there's definitely a lot of downs and several ups. And I'm sure Mike and Jess would probably agree to that. You're definitely much better off if you can buy a space 100%. Both of us tell you guys all the time, stay at home as long as you possibly can, because it gets really expensive once you move out. But if you can buy a space and you have the money to do it, go for it. You can gain equity on the space. You can sell it if you need to, where at least you're just throwing money down the toilet every single month, unfortunately.
But if you've never been in a retail space before in any aspect of business or ran anything that's like that, lease. Do not buy, because you're going to have things pop up that you never would think about. So like Andy said, you're going to be the facility manager, you're going to be everything, it's all aspects on you. So I do not recommend, if it's your first space ever going to and running a business in a retail space, make sure you lease first. Try to get as short as term as you can get 3 years if you can. We're in a 5-year, but we've done this before. We've done other businesses where we've leased stuff before. So we know all the aspects of it and everything else, but do your research and make sure first, but don't go out and spend a few $100,000 on a space and not know if you're going to be doing this long term, because there's a lot of retail spaces, a lot of warehouse spaces sitting empty. If that can tell you anything. So you might be stuck with it for a while.
All right. Have you all gotten into small health food stores at all?
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, it's a great place to start. I mean, that's a borderline easy sale.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was our first grocery store, was a health food local store. One building, one owner, one location.
Yeah. Our first 2 grocery stores were very health driven as well.
Yeah, driveway pop-up is a great idea. Lemonade and microgreens.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, and getting around the whole COVID thing was interesting, because we had to make sure, handing out samples, everybody was gloved up, everybody was masked, and it was a nightmare. But we got through it. We didn't mask for half the time because we're outside. But if people walked up and they masked up, we didn't have any problems with it.
Yeah. Each their own.
Do you guys do any live seeding or harvesting like we do? I don't think I've ever seen you guys do lives.
No. We're unique in
Yeah,
that. I don't think anybody else is doing that. Nobody.
Yeah, I doubt it. I mean,
I think we recorded ourselves one
Yeah.
time, and
we did a while ago.
Yeah, but that was I don't know if you even did anything with it.
Nope,
So
never posted it. It was more just so we could kind of watch what we were doing to see if we could improve anything, change any efficiency issues, things like that. I mean, her and I are beasts when we plant together. We do about 100 trays an hour. I mean, it's ridiculous how fast we are as a team. But again, it's just because our mentality is the same. We're always looking for ways to improve.
we don't
and find
even
little
have to
efficiencies.
speak. We just know.
That's the hardest part.
It's hard.
Remembering to talk when we're doing lives. It is
Especially when you're
so
online.
hard. Because usually we're just like 2-3 words maybe at a time, and then instead we have to say what we're doing, and I have to talk towards a microphone, and that is not easy.
I have to remind her all the time. Talk that away. Talk that away.
All the time.
Well, and that's the other challenge too, is most of my employees who would have to be on camera aren't going to want to be on camera either. They're all very introverted.
Yeah, and our daughter is probably even more introverted than me, so that would go over like a lead balloon.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
See, that's I have my interview questions lined out for when we start hiring, because we definitely in the process to start thinking about it. And one of it is we film in this location.
Yeah,
Are you
true.
comfortable being on TV on camera? If not, it's probably not going to be the place for you.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. DeSanto, Dan, haha, is usually just talking to me the whole time. Just talking to Dan. Joe says, I've been wanting to do some lives, but y'all stole my times. Sorry, Joe. Just happens that way, man.
Gotta be quicker than that.
Hey. Growing
Josh.
Microgreens is here. Josh is here.
What's up, Josh?
All right. Do you guys do head lettuce, or is it leaf lettuce for you guys?
We were doing leaf lettuce.
Leaf lettuce as well. Yeah, we
That's
were
what
too.
we do.
We do too. Yes, Johnny's is the best.
That's what we use.
Gotta love it. And Andy and Teresa, are you guys doing your lettuce in 10-20 trays, or how are you guys growing your lettuce?
We were doing it in 10-20 trays, but the deep trays.
Yeah, the deep ones.
Okay.
Deep
Awesome.
10-20 trays.
Just because they take longer to grow. But I mean, of course, we're using, actual soil, which makes a big difference. We don't have to worry about trying to balance nutrients and that kind of stuff. So it made it a lot easier. But it was delicious. It was really good. Very tender.
We were
Good mix.
always thankful when we would have a little left over for ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
That's always
That's the hardest part.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so good.
Are you familiar with the Seed Time Garden Planner?
I've never heard of that
And how
one.
does Farm for Flow compare to that? I haven't seen that one.
There's
compare.
definitely some other software packages out there that are made for traditional farming,
Yeah.
that have all the longer schedules and all that kind of stuff. I mean, FarmFlow could technically handle that because the amount of time something grows for doesn't really matter. But I've never even heard of the Seed Time Garden Planner. It's probably something along those lines, I would guess. It's just more for traditional gardening.
We put our lettuce in there. We make our lettuce in there and, put 60 days on it for growing, and tells us when to plant it and all that. So, yeah, it works for that too.
Yeah. Yeah, we did the exact same thing when we were growing it.
Josh is about to launch a few lettuce seed varieties.
Oh,
Nice.
Ooh, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. We'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, send me some samples when you get them up and running, man. I would love to use your stuff.
I can use some samples too, Josh. I plant about 1,600 seeds a week.
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, very true.
Dan says he's going to be posting a video of his grow soon. As this is over, I'll add to the lettuce I grew in my basement just using T8 fluorescence. Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look forward to that for sure.
Yeah, Dan's rolling along. He's been messaging me videos of his grow room, and everything looks really good.
Yeah, definitely
well.
coming along well. Matthew wants to know, what's the tech stack for your farm flow? I think Mario answered for you. So PHP SQL.
It's a lamp system.
Awesome.
I don't know what any of that stuff means. So
That's
Mario
an Andy
does,
question.
and that other guy probably does too.
Jean is new to watching the Thumbcast. Thanks for all the awesome info.
Hey guys, remember the giveaway's coming up in 10 minutes.
10
Make sure
minutes.
you're here.
Hashtag Thumbcast, guys.
Yep.
Butterheads. Yes, please.
Ooh, yeah. I love butterhead lettuce.
Yep.
Lorena says that seed time's geared more towards traditional farmers. I think you can use it too to manage honeybees. Oh, interesting.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
That's cool. Let's see. Cheryl wants to know, how else can the Maryland Department of Agriculture help microgreen farmers?
So the coolest things with those guys is that they get you grant opportunities. They get you in front of people to speak about what you're doing. And probably the biggest impact for us has been them getting us into events. So like we've gone to trade shows, we've gone to all kinds of different things where we're meeting tons of people all at once. So we go down, we set up a sample table. And again, same approach. I bring her along or bring Maddie along or whoever. She's at the table. I'm out networking. I don't care if anybody gets samples. I'm out talking to the people that are also set up there, the other distributors, the other restaurants, those guys. I'm talking to them to try and get their cards and get information to make those contacts. So, that's where having that teamwork comes into play for sure. But that's really where the advantage is that their job overall is to help farmers, get more successful. So they have all the resources and all the contacts and everything else. So take advantage of it. I mean, get to know your Department of Ag people, take them out to lunch, whatever you got to do to get to know them well, because the more they know you, I mean, literally the lady that doesn't even work for our county's Department of Agriculture anymore put us in touch with the Department of Agriculture equivalent in the county we're moving into for our warehouse. So because I had such a great relationship with her, she's already got us into this lady. We're not even in her county yet. And we're already in a tasting event next month, which has got like 60 chefs showing up. So, of course, we volunteered to give them all microgreens for free to use on their platings for their taste testing. We can also go there and sell. And there's a lot of people that are going to be attending that event. So we're going to meet potential subscribers, talk to a ton of chefs, get to know a bunch of chefs in the area. And that's all because of that one contact that I made at our local Department of Ag that has now led into our not local Department of Ag that will eventually become our local department once we move our farm down there. So that's the kind of connections and things they can put you in front of. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So definitely take advantage of it.
Yeah. They even reached out, and that's how we wound up on the Maryland Public Television show,
true.
That featured our farm, because it was through the Maryland Department of Agriculture. They were looking for, to feature farms and indoor farming, and, they reached out to us. So it really does offer a lot of really great opportunities.
But start at your county level. Get to know your county Department of Ag person first, because they're going to be the most helpful. The state is great when you have questions, but the county is really what's going to help you propel yourself forward. So at least from our experience.
Yeah.
You don't have a county Department of Ag? Wow.
We have state, but we're buddies with
the Illinois government.
Yeah, but we're in Springfield, and they're all here, so we know them all.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're in the capital, so yeah, they're all here anyway. But yeah, we don't have a county division of that, so we're buddies with the state people, and the USDA is nothing here. Like we can't even get a GAP person here unless they come from Wisconsin.
Yeah, which is
insane.
insane.
We have to pay $3,000 to come do. Yeah. But anyway,
yeah, now they know Andy by a first name basis. We go into a trade show and they're like, Andy, it's Andy.
Yeah. The best part is when you get a hug from a distributor you're not even working with yet.
Now the best part is
you're really doing something right.
We both did.
The best part would be if they say it's Andy and they all fell down.
Yes.
If you guys didn't see our thumbnail.
If you didn't see the thumbnail for the show tonight.
Yeah. They find out it's me and they're just doing this with the business cards.
That's funny.
All right, we better get through these questions.
Better get back to it. Joe says if he's not here, it's because we picked dinner for the time for this.
Joe, you eat dinner early, man. How old are you?
Yeah, for real.
I mean, it's only 6:30 out there.
Nice.
Gonna be going to bed at 7.
Right. Josh wants to know. He said he's late. Give him some good news. What's new with y'all? A lot.
Oh God, you go first because your news is amazing.
With us, we over doubled our business. So, and that meant we added 12 more racks.
12 more growing
racks,
racks,
and then,
2 more germination racks, 2 more feed
transportation
racks.
A lot of racks. I think we bought 16 racks over the last week and a half. So, yeah, a lot of that. So we got a big thing with the farmer. Yeah. With the local food banks that are doing the local food purchasing program. So,
pick up the refrigerated box truck on Saturday.
Yep, refrigerated box truck we pick up on Saturday. We got one of them
that's
too.
awesome.
Yeah. So deliveries are going to be easier to load. We ain't got to load them in a whole bunch of coolers. So that'd be nice.
Awesome.
When you're delivering on pallets.
Yes, delivering to them on pallets, and they'll take it right off the truck. Boom, done. Awesome.
Nice.
Easy.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Yeah. It's there, like Andy said, there's a lot of this going on right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take my money.
But we've been put ourselves in that position that we're ready for it as well. So we don't take a lot of money from the business. We take what we need. That's it. So we can turn it all back in the business and keep growing it. So but yeah, so that's where we're at right now. That's a lot going on in us. So we did planted 571 trays on Friday. So yeah.
Yeah.
Big pole, Mike.
That's a joke from the lives.
Yeah, that's a joke from the lives. I knew there's a guy that shows up in my lives, everything else. He's in a different realm on TikTok. He does some other things, but he's a big pole guy, so he always put poles up. So people start calling him big pole guy. So yeah,
different kind of pole.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that because I don't really want to know the details of big pole, Mike.
Me, making poles, doing poles.
It's a comedy show, man. Joe says he's got 2 kids under 7.
Yeah.
They don't ever. They never stop eating at that age.
Yeah. Wait till they're
They
teenagers.
never stop eating.
Eat out of house of hold.
Wait till they're young adults and don't leave the house and just keep eating.
Yeah.
Right.
Nope, we're not in that situation. Empty nester since our kids were like 19, I think.
Wow.
I need to talk to you about the secret of how to do that. So
tell them they've got to pay rent.
Yeah, literally. We told them you got to pay rent if you're going to still live there.
All right. Or rent, and so they choose to move out.
I stopped feeding them. They're still there.
They buy their own groceries, man. Andy, were you planning on doing an app for FarmFlow, or are you going to stick with this for now and then app maybe later?
It could eventually happen. It's not really. So here's the ironic part with apps, and I'll just kind of give you the behind the scenes really quickly. Most apps are literally just a window into a website.
Yeah, that's right there.
Yeah, you can also add FarmFlow right to your home screen, which is really easy to do. So yeah, that's the ironic part. 9 times out of 10, when you're opening up an app, it's just a window to an actual website anyway. So there's not really that much difference between apps and websites at this point, especially with how mobile friendly everything is.
Yep.
So yeah, it's not like an immediate thing. I'd much rather do more workflow improvements, add more features, things like that before I bother going down that road. Because then you're maintaining 2 different systems and it's not enjoyable at all. So I'd rather just, for now, when it's just me doing this by myself, we can get enough users in there and get enough money rolling in, then I'll definitely hire a application developer to be able to, help me out with all the extra stuff I want to do. Over the time being, it's not really high up on the priority list just because it's not really that necessary. But like Mike said, he showed off, you can literally add it right to your home screen on your phone.
Just add it to the home screen.
Yep.
Matthew Van Dusen, one of our newest Harvest members.
Yes.
One
of our newest members to our course too.
Newest on the course too.
Nice.
Looking back on your early days in the microgreen business, what's one aspect or investment you wish you had prioritized sooner that might not be immediately obvious to someone just starting out?
Buying seed in bulk.
Yeah.
That's definitely a one for sure. You save a whole lot of money buying seed in bulk.
And then when you run out and you realize how long it takes to get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. Get a mentor early if you plan on being big.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. That is a huge one.
I literally just had a coaching call right before this with a gentleman named Bill. He's got literally 2 trays at this point, but he wanted to get that process moving early so that way he can set himself up for success going forward. So I have a feeling he and I will probably be talking a lot over the future, but it's good to do it earlier than try and figure out everything on your own. Take the courses, do what you got to do, within your means, of course, obviously, but it's money well spent because you're going to learn so much in a short period of time. I mean, literally talking, an hour with Mike or me, you can save yourself months, if not years of learning, because we've already been there, done that. We can give you all the information you need to be successful. So it's really, I would highly, highly recommend that. And I'm not trying to say you have to use he or I, I mean, we're certainly here for you guys if you need it, but pick whoever you want. Obviously we're very good at doing it, but I don't want you to feel pressured like you have to use one of us just because we're sitting here. But that's definitely a big recommendation I would make too.
Yeah, I definitely would say a mentor and somebody who's in the business currently that's doing it.
100%.
Not somebody who done it 4 years ago, or somebody who's completely void of the business and have sold it off or whatever else. Somebody who's in the business. And for $79, you can get group coaching call with me every week that we do about an hour and a half to 2 hours every week. So that's a great value. Normally, if you want a one-on-one, it's $147 now for me to do a one-on-one with you because I'm just too busy. So $79, you get a weekly one.
All right. Well, the timer is up.
Let's make sure we did a little talking.
So Farmer Cheryl did have a couple questions, and she is a member on here, so we want to make sure we hop on there. It's going to be behind here, so I'm going to just add the other timer.
I just want to put this up real fast for Andy.
Just had to. Had to.
Well, we do live in Maryland. Which means nothing in the end.
Love it. So how much do you pay your employees? Ooh.
It ranges. Unfortunately, Maryland was one of those states that pushed for $15 an hour. So I have to pay everybody at least that, which sucks a lot. Especially when I've got 3 people harvesting all at the same time and they're all getting at least $45 an hour out of my pocket. So it's definitely not enjoyable having that high of a minimum wage, but all my basic people make that. My more advanced people definitely make more than that. They're in the $16 to $17 an hour range, depending on who they are.
And remember, if you're paying somebody $15 an hour, it's really somewhere around $20 to $22 an hour with taxes and everything else that you have to pay as your part as well. So it's not just 15. Remember that.
Right.
And if you give them benefits and everything else, it's different.
Everybody thinks that leasing a space is going to be your biggest expense. No. 1,000% not
Employees.
True. Employees 100% are your most expensive thing you have by leaps and bounds. So when you're ready for one, make sure you're ready for one because they're going to rely on you to get paid. And that may mean you not getting paid in favor of them getting paid. Because once you realize you really need them badly, to grow your business, then it's more important for them to take home that money than you. So part of being a business owner is having to sacrifice, for those kinds of things. So just be ready for that.
Yeah. If you got employees, you're the last one to eat.
Yeah, literally. Yep. Just making payroll week to week sometimes can be tough.
Yep.
So.
And do you offer health 401k or anything like that on your end?
No. I wish I could. We're not.
We legally have to supply retirement accounts and
in Illinois.
Oh, get this one. 40 hours paid time off for whatever they darn well please. And they can call 5 minutes before their shift. It does not matter.
Wow.
They get 6 of them, basically 6 of them a year.
A week of paid time off.
A week of paid time off.
For every full-time employee. So if they work less than 40 hours, you have to give them that equivalent amount of time.
So yes, we have to do all this regardless.
I would say one benefit that I do give to my employees is I tell them, take off whatever time you need, whenever you need it, and we will make it work. I have enough people to where if somebody, all of a sudden says, oh my God, one of my friends is coming in from Europe or something and staying for a week, take the week off. They have that freedom. Obviously they're not getting paid. They're getting paid by the hour. So if they take the day off, I don't really care. I'm not losing out on anything, but that is definitely one gift, if you will, that I've given to my employees. Or I just say, take off whatever if you're going to a concert, take a day off. If you're going camping, take 2 days off or whatever. So they have that freedom to take vacation as often as they want, whenever they want. So it's kind of, I guess, a benefit to a certain extent. And I do little things for them. I'll buy them lunch and, dinner here and there. We'll do team dinners. We do team lunches. One girl, she plays lacrosse. And she was, trying to find a way to buy a lacrosse stick. And I said, well, how much is it? I'll just give you the money for it, just to basically help them out in little ways. It just shows appreciation, because, buying them a lunch can mean the difference between having to give them a raise. I know it sounds selfish, but it's the truth. If you make your employees feel appreciated, they're never going to ask for a raise because they're getting
value from their fulfillment from their job. Yeah. It's a big difference.
All right. I'm going to rapid fire through these last questions. So just seed density of beets
and shards. Seed density is 50 grams.
50 grams.
50 grams.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we do about 45, somewhere in that range.
Do you grow alfalfa, Andy?
I do not.
It is a
grows too
nightmare to
small.
harvest. Do not do it.
Too small.
Too small.
We do not partner with any CSAs. Do you guys?
Yeah,
Yes,
we do.
we do.
Yeah, we work with some local farms. If you're going to go down that road, I would recommend offering them farmer's choice. So that way, whatever you have left over, you can send.
Yeah.
Because if they're deciding like on a Tuesday what you have to have on a Thursday, your chances are you're not going to have what they actually bought. So that's what I would recommend is go in with a farmer's choice option. That way you can send over whatever you just happen to have. It's a whole lot easier that way. There's way less headaches. Of course, obviously, if they get customers that want the same thing every week, then you can get that into your regular grow schedule, but they would have to proactively let you know that that's what they want. So yeah, try and do a farmer's choice if you can. It makes things a whole lot easier. Then you're not having to grow a bunch of stuff hoping that it sells.
Very true.
Thank you, Karina.
Thank you for Karina. Love your planting days.
And Matthew, thank you as well. Day 2 in the community, super motivating and well worth it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, school community is awesome. If you're not in there, you're missing out.
We do have a free one too. If you just go to school.com/growthbites, that is a free community, and you can get in there. Andy's in there as well, so appreciate him in there.
Still getting 2-for-1 trays. Ooh, he's getting cheaper.
Yeah. And this was our live yesterday. He said he'd worth 2 trays for $1 each.
It was $1 a tray at
$1
first.
trays.
Now we're at 2-for-1.
2 for 1.
Hey, getting cheaper.
I hate to tell you, but my dishwasher does about 500 trays in 2.5 hours. So
That'd be a very expensive situation.
it cost me $30.
Yeah. That's what I told you. Way too expensive. Way too expensive. Yep. Take care of your employees for sure.
Yeah, people over profits for sure.
All right. So we're going to give it the giveaway now. Thank you guys all for great questions. Love them. Keep them coming. And if you have questions that you don't get answered here, you can always go to our school group. That's for free. You get in that community for free. It's at school.com/growthbites. I'm in there. Andy's in there. Justin's in there. We got a lot of great people in there as well as can answer questions and help as well too. The community is awesome. And you can ask these questions through the week through there and we can help you out with that. So we're going to give in the giveaway. And remember, you have to be here live to win. So #Thumbcast, get that in if you haven't got it in yet. And go ahead and put your number in. How many times you want the wheel spin from 1 to 20? 1 to 20. And that way it's already in here. We can get the giveaway away for really quick to you. We got a lot of great things on the wheel. So we have 16 entries so far. So give it about 10 seconds. We've seen some just come in. So up to 17. John Claus makes an appearance.
Hey, John Claus.
Nice.
Can hide that.
Josh got his. So we're climbing still. So as long as it keeps climbing, we'll give it a few seconds here.
So we've got Farm Flow for 3 months, Farm Flow for 6 months, Crop Cheat Sheet, one-on-one with Andy, awesome T-shirt, Budget and Sales Spreadsheet, one-on-one with Mike. Anything else we want to add?
Value.
Anything else we need to add on there, guys?
I don't think so. I think that's pretty much what we have, right? So.
And John Claus, you didn't miss it. There you go.
Hey.
Did you put in #Thumbcast? Hopefully you did.
Yeah.
Got 18
All right, so who you guys have
entries.
picked this week?
Dan.
30. No, 1 through 20, Dan.
1 through 20.
1 through 20.
Y'all are killing me on this.
20. Yeah, okay, you put 20 now.
You may throw some seeds on there, Josh?
No seeds? We can throw some
We
seeds
can
on
throw
there.
some seeds on there. What sounds good?
So there was some broccoli on there. You got broccoli.
It's tiny seeds, whatever you want to throw.
We just put seeds and then he can give away whatever he wants. We'll let him get a hold of them. Just put seeds.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh. We appreciate that.
you, man.
And if you guys have not tried out Green or Harvest seeds, I have not had a bad seed from them yet. They all grow beautifully. The arugula is by far the best seeds I've ever had. Broccoli is amazing. Tiny sunflower seeds. They get done in 8 days now.
Yeah, we've
I
had to
cut 2
change
days
that.
off of growing.
Crazy. That is crazy.
For sure. All right, we'll add that on. We'll stick with the purple on that.
Matthew, I see you got some questions. Go ahead and put them in the community over on school, and we'll answer them over there.
All right.
All right.
Still,
I think
we're
it's
at
good.
18. We're pretty steady. So I think we'll go ahead and
Good luck,
draw.
everybody.
Do that every week too. Sounds like a plan. I will make sure we do that.
All right. Done.
All right.
Who's your pick?
Who's your pick?
Oh, I got to go pick somebody.
I'm picking Karina Craig.
All right.
I'm going to go with, oh God, I'm going to find somebody.
No pressure.
I'm looking for somebody who put hashtag in. Let's go with Mark. Mark Burke.
All right. And let's see what we got.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, guys.
We haven't been right in a long time, so I'm
You guys haven't been right lately.
That's because there's so many people now.
Mario.
Hey,
Mario.
He's a 3-time winner now, I think. I think this is the third time Mario's won.
Nice.
That'd be kind of ironic if he wins a one-on-one with me.
That would be fun.
And
Did Mario put a number in? Nope, that's Matthew's.
Matthew, I've seen an M. I got excited. Oh, there it is.
Oh, he's
Two.
making it easy on you.
Thank you, sir. All right, let me hop over to that tab. And we got the wheel a spinning.
Yeah, because Mario actually won Farm Flow last time. I think the last time he won was in February. He got like 6 months or something.
1, 2.
There we go.
I just started.
Okay, I didn't know if it was spinning or not. It's like,
It's a very slow spin today,
3-month
too.
Farm Flow, crop sheet, one-on-one with Andy coming up.
Oh, it might make it. It might actually make it.
It's going to make it.
Oh, it's making it.
Congratulations, Mario.
Congratulations,
It's
Mario.
unofficial. There it is.
There it is.
The man who's earned himself free consultations with me for life just won a free
I love
consultation.
it.
So you want to give him something else, Andy, or?
Yeah, I mean, we can. If you want to spin it again, Mario.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, we
obviously, you
can
get him
spin it.
anytime you want, man. So if you want to spin
You're
it
already
again,
on there.
surprise. I'm
Let's
totally
spin
fine
that
with
wheel
that.
again.
Let's do this again.
Yeah.
You want to
sticking
take
with
that
the
one
two?
off, or
Oh, I can. Ooh,
real quick, or can you? If
I
you
can
can't,
do
just
that.
spin it. There's no
Yeah,
way it's going to
spin
have to go again.
ain't no way. Let's do it
No
again.
way. Let's do it again. If
Yeah.
it lands again, sorry, that's what you get.
That's what you get.
We'll have to give it away to somebody.
Yeah, I'd rather you get something that you actually would normally
Oh.
have to pay for. There you go. Come on, stop. Ah.
He almost
Oh, got
ended up
more
on that
Farm
one
Flow.
again.
Do it again. Do it again for the laughs.
Do it again for the last.
All right, Mario.
There you go,
I don't
Mario.
know if you need it, but you get a crop sheet from us. So just get a hold of me. Jess will put the email in there.
Yeah.
Mike at microgreenbusinesscoaching.com, and we'll get that to you. We'll show you. We'll teach you how. We'll show you how to get that. So,
Yep. Congrats, man.
I had to type that in real quick.
congratulations, Mario. And thank you guys all again. It was great questions tonight. I want to again thank Teresa, our special guest, for being here tonight and taking. I know she doesn't like being in camera and talking and all this, but so she did a great job. I think she did awesome. I think we could have her back again because she did such a great job on here as well. So maybe sometime in the future, maybe 6 months down the road, when or something. We've been doing this for
again.
have to take you to dinner when you want
Must
a
be
nice
money
dinner
every
again.
time.
Yeah.
When you want a nice dinner again, let me know. We'll have you on.
I'll tell you what, Jess, do you still have access to the drawing?
I do.
I'm going to give my 101 away to somebody else if you want to pull the wheel
Absolutely.
back up.
Okay.
Let's see. Share that instead. Gotcha. We
And Mario will fall off of this. So
Mario will automatically fall off of that one. So now who are you going to pick?
So guys, if you're still here, I hope you're still here. If you're not,
hopefully you guys didn't drop off. You're not going to miss out.
Put hashtag thumbcasting because I think it would still go.
It'll still take more.
Still take more. Andy's going to give a free one-on-one away to whoever shows up on this. So we got about 5 seconds, and we're going to spin this. So that is awesome gift. Thank you, Andy, for doing that.
Yeah, no problem. I figured I was going to give it away anyway, so I might as well give it to somebody who doesn't have to pay for it, right?
Yeah. All right. Still at 17 entries. Ready?
So we got
let's
one
do
that came in. So I don't know if it mentally dope was in there before.
I think he was in there before.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Let's spin it.
All right.
Or
Perfect.
draw it.
Draw it again.
Sorry to make you do that, Jess, but I was just feeling
Oh,
generous.
no, you're fine. Just sliding back over to the other one. And Gene.
All right,
Gene is new to the podcast
Nice.
too.
Yes.
Brand new.
Awesome.
Sweet. So
Gene, are you still
just
here?
send me- Yeah, hopefully you're still here, Gene. If you are, send me. I'm going to put my email address in the comments. Let me make sure I typed it right.
Spell check.
Yep. So Gene, just shoot me an email and we'll get that scheduled, man.
Awesome.
If you're still here. Hopefully you're still here.
I
If
hope
not,
so.
sorry about your luck.
Yep.
All right,
Awesome.
perfect. Well, you guys, it was a really great podcast again. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you.
Yep, cost
And
me money, but it was worth it.
Totes.
You love me, so you'd take me to dinner if I wanted to go anyway.
That's very true. It's
That's
not
very
really. Yeah, we go out all the time anyway. I mean, and I would say if you're out there and you're thinking about starting a business and you're married, make time for your spouse because your business could potentially take your life over. So that's something that we've made on purpose. You know, we go out of our way to spend time with each other to make sure that our marriage stays strong. So
Mhm.
definitely don't give that up because your partner is far more important than your business will ever be. So
Agreed.
always keep that in mind.
100%.
Yep. And remember, guys, we're here every Saturday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, unless we both have something to do. Somebody will be here doing this podcast Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can catch us live on Monday doing harvesting, Friday doing planting, and we may have pop-ups, other ones through the week and stuff. So you can still stay in contact with us, and make sure you check out our free group over on school.com/growthbites so we can connect more with you over there. Other than that, have a great night. And you got anything to sign off with?
Nope, that was it. Thank you guys. I
Thanks.
appreciate you
Okay.
listening to our story, and hopefully it inspires you to, grow your own business,
Definitely.
Yes.
whether it's microgreens or something else.
Yeah. Thanks,
Awesome.
guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.